Dr. T. Varlashmi discussing you about the price output determination in the case of the perfect competition as well as in the case of the imperfect competition markets. So the price. If any product is going to be manufactured by the producer based on the identified demand, then the next step is identification of the expenditures incurred by the producer for that particular product, that is called as the cost or the expenditure. Then after this cost, whatever the expectations are there for the producer, that expectations adding will accumulate a value to the product. That value which is assigned to the product based on the expenditures and the expectations is called as the price, because the price is a very important element to the both the producer as well as to the customer. For the producer, it is very important that based on the price only, that sales of the product as well as the returns of the organization is depending, as well as the income generated by the people, that is the households or the buyers, is going to be determining by the price of that product only. That price, because of that price only, the saving levels and expenditures levels of the households are all again depending. So in cooperation and coordination between this price between the producer to the customer, a best value should be assigned to the product. That best value assigning to the product based on the sale expenditures and the expectations and savings correlation is called as the price. Always the selling price of the product is mostly based on the expenditures which is incurred on the product, that is cost plus the expectations, which generally calls as the profit margin. If the expenditures or the cost is more than the selling price, then we can say that the losses will be incurring by the organization. But if the sales price is more than the cost expenditure, then we can say that it is a profit margin to the organization. So that important price is going to be depending on certain factors, and evaluating that fixing of that price is called as the price determination. That is determining the cost of goods sold or the services which is rendering by the producer based on the market conditions as well as the supply and demand factors in the elements. That is called as the price determination. Every government may not fix the prices for all the products. Only for the government products only it can fix. But the supremacy of price fixation might be vexed with the government authorities. For example, they can't purchase all the wheats or the rice producing by the farmers, but it has the right to fix this minimum support price, MSP, so that with below to that price, the producers, the buyers should not purchase that one. Above that price only they have to purchase the product, which means they are giving some beneficiary to the producers of the rice and wheat based on the market conditions. So that is the elements which is involved in determining the price is called as the price determination as well as evaluation. Mostly, this price determination is based on the demand existing to that product as well as the expenditures which is incurring on the product, that is the cost, as well as the competition levels and the life cycle of that product, sales channels and government authorities. If there is a more demand for the product, then obviously the more prices will prevail for that product, and more expenditures are all incurring for that product, fixed cost, variable cost, semi-variable cost, etc. Then that leads to the high cost for the product. If the costs are all reducing, then there is a possibility of reducing the price too. Then if more competition is there for the product, more number of the sellers are all there, then obviously there is a chance of reducing the prices for the products, and less competition leads to the high prices for the products. Lifestyles or the life cycle of the product. If the life cycle that product is initially introducing in the market, then the prices based on the nature of that product, the prices will be very low or the high, and gradually the low priced products may lead to the high, or the high priced products may lead to the low. Take the example of the electronic gadgets. They are all going to be affecting the lifestyles of the people who are high net worth individuals. Initially, at the market prices, whenever they are introducing the iPhones or the luxury cars, etc., the prices of such goods will be very high. Then, gradually, if the number of the buyers are all increasing, then such companies will reduce the prices of the products. Then, if it is a fast moving consumer good or a new product is introducing in the market, this is going to be affecting the or attracting by the maximum number of the people who are having the normal lifestyling activities, and that products may have the low price, and if the number of the customers are all increasing, then the price for that product may also be increases. As well as if that product is at initial stage and unique, then the prices must be very high. If that product reaches to the growth stage, again the prices increases, and if the product reaches to the maturity stage, the product levels will be of constant, and if that product is become a saturation in the market, then there is a chance of reducing the price. And moreover, if the product has to reach to the customer, there are some mediators called as sales channels like dealer, wholesaler, retailer, like this. There are many channels are all there. If the number of the channels are all increasing, then the price for the product will also be increases. The best thing is on every product we will see MRP, maximum retail price. If the number of these channels are all increasing, even n number of the channels will comes, the price of that product should not be increases to the MRP. That's the meaning of this MRP. So if the number of the channels increases, then there will be a high prices for the product, and the number of channels reduces, then there will be a low prices prevails for the product. And if the government will declare them as the necessary products, then the government may tries to reduce the GST on such products, that is the indirect taxes, or the government may tries to give some subsidy to that one, or the government may take the decision of providing the minimum support price for that products. Is if the government is concentrating towards the development of that basic products or that kind of the products, then obviously the prices of that product will be reduces. Then assume that in a budget the government is going to be increasing the electronic gadget prices, means we can expect this televisions, mobile phones, as well as the washing machines prices, etc., will be increases, which means the government actions are going to be having its impact on the price. So the demand, cost, competition, life cycle of the product, sales channels, and the government factors are going to be having are going to be determining the price of the product. That is the price determination. By accumulating all these values into the consideration, if a best numerical value is assigned to the product, then that is called as the price. So before going to fix the price by the producer, he need to take certain factors into the consideration regarding the quality as well as the quantitative factors of the product. That factors that a producer has to consider before price determination is called as the affecting factors of the price. So here, the producer has to take into the consideration of the product cost. So product cost will include the fixed cost plus variable cost plus semi-variable cost plus operational costs. So like this, all the costs which are incurring in manufacturing of that product or in transferring of the inputs to the output cost will be called as the production cost. There. So once assume that for a product he has added 100 rupees of the productional cost. Then if the usage of the product is high, that is utility of the product is high, which means that leads to the high demand for the product. If the usage is very low, then the demand for the product will also be low. So that the adding factor, that is the demand or utility adding factor to the product cost will again depends on the demand for that product in the market. So before going to fix a price, they need to take into consideration of the product cost as well as its utility and demand, as well as the extent of competition in the market. So that is how many marketers are all there to sell that product. If it is the perfect competitive market, prices will be again very low. If it is the monopoly, single product, less number of competitor, no competitor at all, then the prices will be high. And monopolistic competition, oligopoly, duopoly, based on these market types, they need to take the decisions, as well as the government and legal regulations. That is the taxation policies of that particular product manufacturing and the government policies, registrations, everything they need to take into consideration. And also the pricing objectivities. So that is, if the prices are based on the cost plus pricing objectivity, or if the prices are all based on the developmental basis or all not. So what for this price is going to be fixing, that is also has to take into the consideration. And the marketing methods also be used, marketing methods using are also going to be having its impact on the price determination. So that is price penetration or the price skimming, and is the markets are all the local markets or the national markets or the global markets. So what kind of the methods are all determining over there, and what is the income levels of the customers in that particular area. So these are all called as marketing methods. So based on these elements, the price is going to be determining. So all these factors has to keep in mind by the producer before going to fix a price to the product. The next concept is about determining of price equilibrium. So the price equilibrium. So equilibrium means the meeting point of both buyers' expectations and sellers' expectations is called as the price equilibrium, which means at that price, both the sellers should be happy and the buyers should be happy. So when the buyers and the sellers will be happy means if they are all providing, if they are able to get the same level of the expenditures and savings and expectations, then it will be called as the price equilibrium. So which means the expenditures of the producers as well as the buyers. So we can say that producers are all the sellers, and the expectations of the sellers are going to be meet the saving levels of the buyers with their expectations, then it will be called as the equilibrium level. In every market, this reaching of the equilibrium point is based on the availability of the product as well as the demand prevailing for that product. Assuming that there is a supply of the product is going to be increasing based on the quantity and the price which is spending on that one. So that is the supply curve. And the demand, if the price is reducing, the demand will also be reduces. And this is the demand curve. The meeting point of demand with the supply. At this meeting point, the price fixing by the producer will give the beneficiary to the producer as well as to the customer. Generally, what happens in the market conditions is if the supply of the product is going to be increasing and the demand will be reduces, then it has to leads to the price reductions of the product. If the supply and demand is equal, then the price will be at equilibrium price. And if the supply is less, demand is more, at that situations, the prices of the products will be increases. So these are all the three situations possibility is there. But whenever the supply of the products is equals to the demand of the product, then at that stage, the fixed prices will be called as price equilibrium prices. So to determine the equilibrium price, it is better to analyze the supply of the products and demand of the products. So because Assume that there is 100 products are all available in the market, and 100 products are all available in the market, and 100 products need is there in the market. Need is the market. So at this time, if the price is 10 rupees for the product, then both the buyer and the seller is very happy. If the supply is reducing, if the supply is low, demand is high, then the prices will be very high. If the supply is high and the demand is low, then the prices will be very low. So, in these situations, if the prices are low, customers are all happy. Customers are all happy. At this situation, the producers are all happy. But producers are the customers. Both are the Indians are only. So, both are the people only, human beings are only. Both has to get the benefit. So for this one, it is better to determine the price equilibrium position by the producer. Once the price equilibrium is determined, then the next thing is how to project that prices. Generally in India, the projection of the prices is going to be explaining in terms of the two elements. One is consumer price index and wholesale price index. In general, the index means the related products prices revealing board is called as the index. Let us say we went to the market. The market outside, they'll on the board they might have written like this: vegetables, tomatoes 10 rupees per kilo, onions 20 rupees per kilo, like this. List is we can find that everywhere. That is called as the index of the products which are available in that particular locality. Same as if we see this NSE, National Stock Exchange, or the Bombay Stock Exchange, there we can see that. So the Wipro product price of that share, or another company, X company, price of that share, Y company. So like this, every company which is registered with that stock exchange and its prices are all going to be indicating by that one. So that they have their some certain names for that indexes are also like Nifty. Nifty is the price index for NSE, and Sensex, it is the price index of the Bombay Stock Exchange. So like this, the products available in that particular locality and their price determined prices will be called as price indexes. That price index of the goods or the services which are available in the country is going to be denoting with two statistical elements. One is consumer price index, another one is the wholesale price index. So which means every products in selling in the India will be categorized into two elements. Is that product is for the base for the another product manufacturing, or is that product is for the direct consumption? If that product is going to be purchasing by the person for the direct consumption, then the product prices will be called as such goods prices index will be called as consumer price index. If that product is using for the further productions, then at that time the product prices will be called as wholesale price indexes. Best example is eggs which are purchasing by the households, then they will be called as retail prices. We might have seen or listened in the news channels also. So eggs at wholesale price per egg 4 rupees. At a retail price it is 5 rupees. Which means if that eggs are all taken by the another mediator, or for the any bakery person is taking those eggs for the further bread production or the cake manufacturing, if he is taking that one, for him only 4 rupees they are charging. And if that same eggs are all going to be using by the household for his own consumption, that maybe charges more than 4, because they are taking in the less quantity, whereas in the previous case they are taking in the bulk manner. So like this, every products like iron ores, steel, etc., the core products will be coal, steel, iron. All these are all the core products. So these prices indexes in the India will be called as the wholesale price indexes. So by using this iron or the coal, the power is generated by using this coal, power is generated, then the power is directly consuming by the households, then the power bills paying by them will be comes under the consumer price indexes. So that is the differences between the consumer price indexes as well as the wholesale price indexes. So best example is bread, cheese, shirts, socks, skirts, ties, etc. will be comes under the consumer products, whereas the wheat, flour, milk, yarn, cloths, etc. will be comes under the wholesale price indexes. Generally, these consumer price index or the wholesale price indexes are going to be affecting the inflationary rates of the country. In general, if the inflation means where the customer is ready to buy the products at high rates. If we see, if there is an equilibrium, price equilibrium is there, at this stage the prices are all at normal stage. And in this below stage, so supply and demand, if we see, supply is low, if the demand is high, high prices will be prevails, which means the people are chasing towards the goods. That is, money is chasing for the goods. That money chasing for the goods situation is called as the inflation. They are ready to spend any amount for the purchasing of that goods. For example, remdesivir injections in India present situation is the people are ready to pay 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 also. For 2,000 is the equilibrium price. They are ready to spend 30,000 means because of the demand for that particular injection in India. So that may leads to the less saving levels of the people. Then that is called as the inflationary rates. If most of the goods will be like this, then we can say that inflation of the goods. And the second situation, apart from this equilibrium, if the supply is very high and the demand is very low, then the good prices will be very low. The prices of the goods will be of very low. At that situation, best example is rice producing by the farmers. The most of the farmers are all producing, but less number of the people are there to purchase that one. Even though there is a demand, it is a necessary product. At this present situations, no one is there to purchase that product. So here the less prices, the less than these prices, they will purchase. They have to sell their produced goods. That situation is called as the deflation. Inflation or the deflation is both not suggestible for any economy. The equilibrium points are only suggestible for every economy. If the prices are all prevailing at equilibrium point, then automatically it is going to be give the benefits to the organization. So that's way to measure based on the prices only we can say the economy of the country or economy situations of a particular organization. So this for this measurement, two methods we are taking: consumer price index method and wholesale price index method. So consumer price index method will measure the changes in the retail prices. So we might have seen in the last 6 months, the oil prices are all increased by 17%, vegetable prices are all increased by 10%. Like this analysis is providing. So who will do this analysis is CSO, Central Statistical Organization will do this kind of the measurement, and the number of items are all 100 goods and services basically, and other goods will be fall under these 100 categories. And the here the types of the CPI indexes are all CPI rural, that is locality basis, consumer price indexes in the rural, consumer price indexes at the urban areas, consumer price indexes at combined rural and urban areas. And the basis for comparison is going to be taking for the year 2012 onwards. For example, in 2012, the egg price was 2 rupees. Assume that it was 2 rupees. At present, if the egg price is 5 rupees, they will compare with 2. So when compared to this one, so nearly 150% of the increasing is there. So which means to increase comparison, they will take the base year as 2012 into the consideration. Same as consumer price index, the wholesale price index is going to be measuring by Office of Economic Affairs and Department of Industrial Products Production is going to be measuring the changes in the wholesale products prices, and the present number of the items categorized under the wholesale price index is 697 goods in India. And for the basic comparison, the financial year taking into the consideration is 2011 to 2012. This is the methods of measuring the inflation. The next thing is price output determination at perfect competition. So we know that one, the perfect competition is called as larger number of sellers and the larger number of buyers, and all the buyers will have the real information, and both are the price makers only but not the price takers only but not the price makers. So here once if we see, if the product price of the curd is assumed at 2 rupees and the quantity demanded is 90 and the quantity supply is only 30. At this situation, the demand is greater than supply. Demand is more than the supply. So there is no price equilibrium. So here it will be not called as the perfect competitive market. If the price of the curd is increased to 3 and the quantity demanded is 80, because quantity demanded reducer and the quantity supplied is 40. Here is also demand is greater than supply. And if the price is going to be increasing, keep on increasing, then the demand of that product is going to be reduced to 61, as well as the supply of the product is also increased to 60. At this situation, the price which is prevailing will be called as the best price at perfect competitive market. So in the perfect competitive market, the demand for the products is 60 and the supply for the products is also 60, where the demand has equivalence to the supply. So based on this one, if they fix that prices, then that is called as perfect price output determination at perfect competition. In below that one, if we see, the keep on the price increases and reduction in the quantity demanded for the product, as well as the supply of the product is also going to be increasing. That leads to the less demand for when compared to supply. In the graphical representation also we can see that, so it is the meeting point is the price, where the meeting point of the supply and the demand, that is called as the equilibrium point of the price for the given quantity of goods. So that is the like this, the price based on the price and output in the perfect competition, the price can be determined for the product. The next one, that is estimation of the price output at monopoly competition. So monopoly competition means single seller and larger number of buyers. So in this table, once if we observe, if the output is at 0, the price of the product is $14, means previously they were thinking of fixing a price of $14 and the total revenue is a base 0 we can take, and the total cost is 2 rupees and the monopoly profit is at losses only. If the output is increased to 1, the price are automatically reduced to 12. If the total revenue will be of 12 and marginal revenue 12, total cost is 6. Assume that there is a total cost is 6 and the average cost, that is 6 divided by the output 1, as well as the marginal cost 2 to 6, the difference between this cost is 4, and monopoly profit to the person is 6 rupees. Monopoly profit to the organization is 6 rupees. If the output is increased to 2 and the price is reduced to 10, then the total revenue will be increased by 20, because the price reduces, the demand for the product will be increases, and the marginal revenue is 8. So when compared to 12 to 20, marginal revenue increased by 8, and the total cost, assume that the cost is 8, then the average cost, total cost is 4 and the marginal cost is 2, and monopoly profit to the customer is 12. So here in this 3 and if the output levels of the 2 and 3 are all there, in these two cases, even if the output is 2 or the 3, even if the price is 10 or 8, but as a monopoly person is going to be getting the same profit levels because of his no competition levels or the imperfect market conditions prevailing in the market. So based on like this, if the producer prepares the relationship between the output, price levels, expected revenue, marginal revenue, total cost, average cost, marginal cost, then the meeting point of marginal revenue to the average total cost and marginal cost value will gives the maximum benefit to the monopoly producer. Based on this analysis, if they fixes the price, then the monopoly person will get maximum benefit, and this is a procedure to determine the price output relationship at monopoly competition. The next element is single price monopoly and competitions comparison. So which means at a single price at monopoly in the competition, once if we see if the price is at M and it is reduced to C and the quantity demanded, so at PM M price, if quantity M is going to be selling and if the price is reduced to PC, then if the quantity demanded is increased by quantity C. At these situations, the existing between price reductional values gaining, which is profits which is gained by the producer, will be called as monopoly profits. So here about to this one, it is called as the consumer's surplus, because so marginal revenue as well as the average revenue of the organization's coordination in this year, the consumer will get the benefit of the organization, and below to that one, the monopoly, that producer will get the more benefits, and below to this one, dead weight loss. So where the marginal revenue is greater than the average cost, and here it will be called as producer's surplus. So below to this one, if the prices, even if he reduces to this one, then the producer will get the maximum benefits. That is called as producer's surplus. So based on this one, for the single price, the monopoly competition, they can compare where is the monopoly gain and surplus, producers surplus and consumers surplus and dead weight losses possibilities with the help of this analysis. In this, if we see this monopoly competitive market short-term price output relationship, we can explain in three ways. One is in the case of the abnormal profits, normal profits, and losses for this one. So here, if there's abnormal profits are all gaining by the producers, means even if the price is are changing, the same quantity is going to be purchasing by the customers. So if the price is at T, same quantity they are purchasing. Even if the price is increased to P, the people are purchasing the same quantity. At that situations, generally the marginal revenue curve as well as the average revenue curve angle will be of very low, and they can ignore this marginal cost elements. So they need not to take care of the cost, because even the price is increasing, cost can be automatically reduces. They will get the maximum benefits at this meeting point. If they fixes the prices, then it will give the maximum benefits to the producer. In the case of the normal profit, if they observe, they can ignore this marginal revenue. If they concentrates on this average revenue, at that point the price and the quantity existing, if they take into the consideration, as well as along with the average revenue, they need to take care of this marginal cost, that is expenditures, are also into the consideration. That gives the, at that point, price fixation will give the more beneficial, or generally of normal profits will be given to the producer. And if the organization has to see the loss situations, whenever if the average revenue, average cost or meets. Average revenue and average cost will meets. At that prices, generally the organizations will get the loss. So loss because there is an ignorance of marginal revenue and marginal cost of the producer. If it goes to the long run, generally in the short run, only variable expenditures they will changes. So that's why more concentrated will be on marginal revenue and marginal cost. Average revenue and average cost. Here, all the factors of the production will be changes. There is no short run. So in the long run, they have to cut the marginal revenue from below onwards. That's why if we see this angle of incidence between the marginal revenue and average revenue will be more, and that too the average long-term marginal cost will cut this one because from the basic onwards in the below only with the less cost only, so less time period only it will touches the marginal revenue. So there is a more expenditure by the company in terms of the land changes, land, buildings, structures, everything they will changes. High cost will be prevails. So there is a less scope for the time differences between the marginal revenue gaining to the marginal cost. At the below only it will cuts the marginal revenue. At this meeting point, they can say that they can go for the long-term changes of the productional elements. That is about the price output determination in a monopoly competition as a single price, short run as well as the long run. Then the price output relationship in the monopolistic competition. So monopolistic competition means already one firm is there and another firm is becoming a competitor, but both doesn't have the same product. They have different products. Then that condition is called as monopolistic competition. So here in the short run, that company will get maximum profits where this marginal revenue will be equals to the marginal cost. At that situations, if they fix a price for the given inputs, the organization will get the maximum profits. When in the monopolistic competition, mostly the threat will become in the long run only because of that product or because of not having the another products, the people may choose for the another alternative for that product. So that may leads to the total changes in the price and output determination. But in the short run, anyhow, equivalent to the monopoly, in the monopolistic competition also they will get the maximum benefits. So that meeting point of the average cost and the marginal cost to the marginal revenue point will give the maximum benefits. These prices will give the maximum benefits to the monopolistic competitive market. When it reaches to the long run, the people may be vexed with this existing product and they may choose the another alternative for that product, or they may go for the substitutable products. So in this case, the marginal in the long run demand, there is a less scope for the selling of that product. They have to prevail the same prices, and at the meeting point of the marginal cost as well as the marginal revenue point will give the maximum benefits or normal benefits to the organization. So that is about the price output determination under long-term monopolistic competition. Thank you so much.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.